Alright, this Nintendo Direct fully surprised me. Honestly, I woke up this morning not really wanting to go ahead and do a live stream of this Direct because I really wasn't expecting much. We usually get partner Directs and separate Indie World Directs, but this was both of them combined. And in my head, I was like, you would have to combine these because you don't really have a lot to show. Well, I'm glad they proved me wrong because there was a lot of bangers and a lot of surprises that I wasn't expecting. So let's go ahead and discuss this Nintendo Direct. Let's start off with the first part, which was the Indie World Direct, and honestly speaking, wasn't really that big into that. There were a lot of indie games that were showing off, and unfortunately none of them that were showing off were really for me. But the one announcement that I did really like was Sea of Stars is getting some DLC, and it's free at that. This will add a whole new area to the game, a new little story, side story there, and actually it looks like new job classes for the main character. So this is actually pretty cool. I don't know if you want to call them new job classes, but they will have like new, I guess, abilities and new moves and stuff like that. I am pretty hyped about this because Sea of Stars was actually my favorite game last year, and I really enjoyed that game. It was an amazing game. So I am super hyped for this DLC, and yeah, can't wait to go ahead and play that. I do want to give an honorable mention though, because there were some smaller little indie games there here and there that a lot of people do like. Power Wash Simulator is getting like a Shrek, I guess, a collaboration, I guess you can say. It's a little collaboration where you're pretty much in the swamp area where Shrek lives, and you gotta go ahead and power wash this stuff. I guess that's cool. I guess people like power washing in games. Maybe not in real life, but in games, I guess. I don't know. I've never played the game, so don't know how fun that is. But the other one I wanted to mention was Wobbly Life. It's a game that actually my son loves to play. And you know, every time I see that game, it just reminds me of my son. So I did want to mention that as well. It's a pretty good game. If you have kids, your kids will probably enjoy this, and honestly, I'm surprised it took this long for it to come to Nintendo Switch. This was a game that I feel was definitely designed with the Nintendo Switch in mind. Oh, and I also forgot to mention Pizza Tower. Pizza Tower I know is very popular. It's a Wario Land-like, and honestly, I know a lot of people really do love that game. So this coming to Nintendo Switch, honestly, is another one that was like, why did it take so long for it to come to Nintendo Switch? This was literally made for the Nintendo Switch. So after the first 20 minutes, I was actually pretty tired, and I was like, you know what? I'm actually getting pretty sleepy. So I was thinking of just calling it quits there. But no, we had the second half of that Nintendo Direct, which was focused on the partner showcase. These were third-party games. I guess you would call them from high-profile developers or companies that were coming to Nintendo Switch, and honestly, they went ahead and delivered in this. So the partner showcase starts off, and honestly, we get a couple games here and there, but then we got Tetris Forever, and Tetris Forever was something that drew me in. I'm a huge Tetris fan. I love Tetris 99, and just Tetris itself is just very fun. Tetris Forever is a collection of a bunch of Tetris games, pretty much an all-in-one package, if you will. And actually, I was pretty excited that this was actually coming to the Nintendo Switch, or to a collection in general. I'm not sure if it's Switch exclusive. I don't believe it is. But you know, it is coming here, and I do really like that it is coming there. They also announced that the Tetris NES version will also be coming to Nintendo Switch Online later on this year. There is also a Tetris 99 collab that will also be coming later on this year, which is actually pretty awesome. Like I said, I really do enjoy Tetris 99. It is very fun. Moving on, we did have a quick montage of games that were showing up, and typically when Nintendo Directs do these segments, they're usually of games that we already know are coming out, and really not much is said there. They're like, a lot of the times it's lower profile games, or like I said, games that were already announced. But there was one game that actually stuck out, and honestly, I was very surprised that they went and put this in the montage versus having a whole segment on this game. That is The Legend of Heroes Trails in the Sky, the first. This actually really surprised me. This is a remake of The Legend of Heroes Trails in the Sky, the very first game. And why would you put this in this small montage? Like, this is something that's actually pretty big. Like, I know a lot of people did not play the Trail series, or rather, like, it doesn't have a big following. A lot of people know of it, but they don't know where to start. They're kind of, you know, how can I put it? They have like this fear factor of there's so many games in the series, they don't know where to start. Because I do know in this series, all the games kind of take place together. They all take place in the same world, so it's something you really do need to know the story. But this is kind of big news because we're getting a full-on remake of this game, and it looks like the battle system is changed. It's a little bit different than what the original version is, and graphically speaking, it looks amazing. If this was really Switch footage, this looks amazing for something on a Nintendo Switch. This is pretty cool, and I was actually very excited for this announcement. We did also get some more Dragon Quest III news. You'll be able to customize your party members. So in Dragon Quest III, pretty much your party members, you gotta go ahead and recruit them. And when you recruit them in the original game, they just kind of are like one color palette, I guess you could say. But in the HD 2D remake, you will be able to customize your party members, which is pretty cool. Not only that, but there is a new job class that will be showing up, and that is the Monster Wrangler job class, which will be able to use the abilities of enemies. But not only that, it looks like you will actually be able to wrangle in monsters, basically being able to catch them and use them as your own. At least that's what they're hinting at. There's nothing that's saying that for real, but it looks like they are hinting at you will be able to do that, which pretty much brings in some elements of the Dragon Quest Monster games or Dragon Quest V into Dragon Quest III. But there was also a moment in the Direct that really surprised me, and honestly, I was just surprised. Like, I had no words for this. Capcom announced yet another collection, another fighting game collection that will include Capcom vs SNK, Capcom vs SNK 2, the Power Stone games, and so much more. Honestly, this surprised me. I was not expecting this. I was not expecting any of this. This is something that we had talked about on the podcast, talking about how we would like a new Capcom vs SNK game. And I've been playing Capcom vs SNK 2 recently on my RGQ. So this really surprised me, and I am super hyped for this game. Honestly, this collection could be called the Dreamcast collection because there's a lot of Dreamcast games that were actually put in this collection, which I am super excited for. This is like, I don't know, Capcom, you're an amazing company, especially when it comes to bringing back your retro games. I do like what you're doing here. We also did get a release date for Marvel vs. Capcom collection, which I'm super hyped, and honestly, it's not that far away. We're about 2 weeks away from that releasing, so I am super excited for that as well. Capcom has been on a roll recently, and honestly, everything they've been done has been pretty good. The only thing that's missing from them is a new Mega Man game and a Breath of Fire collection. Come on, Capcom, bring back Breath of Fire. We also finally got another look at Suikoden 1 and 2 HD collection, and yes, it is coming next year. This game has been absent all year and was announced, I want to say, sometime last year. And I've been wondering, where has this game been? Because we've heard no news the whole year for this game. Well, it is coming very soon. The release date for this is March 6, 2025. So yeah, March of next year. Pretty excited for that. I've never played the Suikoden games. I've heard about them and I've heard they're really good. So I'm really excited to actually go ahead and test out these games. Let's not forget another remaster was also announced, and that is Tales of Graces F Remastered. This is probably my favorite Tales of game. It's, I don't know, it's really special, and I think the biggest thing about it is the combat system. It has my favorite combat system in a Tales game, and it's super fast paced. It's really good, and honestly, I am super excited to go ahead and play this game. If you haven't played Tales of Graces F, you definitely need to go ahead and pick this up. This game was originally released on the Wii, and then later on had a, I guess you can say, an HD remaster, I guess you could say, kind of, on the PS3. And then this seems to be a remaster of the remaster, which I guess works out there. But anyways, there's some extra features that they have on there. All the DLC seems to be included as well. So they'll have like different costumes, of course, like different packs and things like that available in the game. Definitely keep an eye out for Tales of Graces F Remastered. Oh, and I should probably mention that comes out January 17th of next year. The last major thing that hit me personally that I was excited for, and something I've been waiting for, and also wondering how are they going to do these games on a single screen platform, and that is the Castlevania Dominus Collection. Those include the DS Castlevania games, as well as one of the arcade games in the game, which has also been remastered to fit a widescreen display and has some enhancements to the graphics and stuff like that. Honestly, the game looks really good, and it's actually coming out later on today, which I'm super excited about. This almost means that every single Castlevania game is fully available on all platforms. There's only 2 games that are missing, and that is Symphony of the Night and Rondo of Blood. Both of those can be played on the PS4 or PS5 through a collection that's available on there, but outside of those, they're not available anywhere else, which is kind of weird. You would think that they would at least port that collection to all the other systems, which would be awesome because those are 2 of probably the best Castlevania games ever made, but they're not. But anyways, this collection does come out later on today. What it looks like they did, especially with the DS screen, looks like they just added everything to the right side. And there's a bunch of different screen layout customizations that you can also work with, which is pretty cool. Of course, when it came to the touchscreen stuff, you really don't have to worry about having touchscreen because, of course, you know, like if you go ahead and play on your PC, for example, there is no touchscreen. Instead, you would use the right analog stick for your touchscreen to be able to do some of the things that you have to do in those games. But that was actually a nice surprise because this was something that I wasn't expecting. Once again, this direct was very surprising. There was so much going on in this direct. A lot that I won't mention because I would say they didn't hit me as hard, but I do want to give another honorable mention to a couple of other games. One of them being Metal Slug Tactics, which was announced, maybe about 2 years ago or so like that? Maybe it was last year, but I feel like it was like 2 years ago. And we've heard nothing about that game for quite some time. It does look like it is coming out very, very soon, which is nice, so can't wait for that. I do love tactical RPGs. For those of you who know me, you know I'm a huge Fire Emblem fan, loving Unicorn Overlord, as well as any other tactical RPG out there. This is another tactical RPG, and one that I've been waiting for, and it's nice to see that this will be coming very, very soon. They did show off more of the Plucky Squire, which is an awesome Zelda-like, I guess you can say. It's a mixture of Zelda-like and I guess other, I don't know what you want to call it. It's pretty cool. If you like Zelda games, this is very Zelda-like, but there's a bunch of stuff added to it. And it's nice to be able to go ahead and switch from like a 2D dimension to a 3D dimension. So it mixes both of those around. It looks really, really interesting. I can't wait for that. It did show more of that. There also is a Shovel Knight DX game, which is basically a, I guess, remaster of the original game. Think of it how there was Link's Awakening and Link's Awakening DX. They're kind of doing the same exact thing, but except with the Shovel Knight game. So the first game. Which that is actually pretty cool. That is also coming out sometime next year. And then of course there was Yakuza Kiwami that was announced for Nintendo Switch. Honestly, it took a very long time for this game to come to Nintendo Switch. It should have been on Nintendo Switch already. Not exactly sure what took them so long, but for those of you who only have a Nintendo Switch, it is nice that you will be able to go ahead and play this game. The Yakuza series, or Like a Dragon series as it's known right now, it's pretty awesome. It's really, really good. And if you're a fan of Shenmue or Shenmue 2 or any of those games, then I think you should definitely try the Yakuza series because they are really, really good. So what were your thoughts on this Nintendo Direct? Honestly, when it comes to me, I was very surprised. I was not expecting any of this. The the Capcom Fighting Collection 2 actually is what really, really surprised me. I was not expecting anything like that. But not only that, Tales of Graces F is another one that I was not expecting at all. We had rumors of a Tales of game, and I think specifically it was Tales of Xillia that was being remastered, but here we are with Tales of Graces F. The funny thing is too, I believe this came up in one of our podcasts, and I mentioned that yes, I would like if Tales of Graces got remastered because this is a game that's worth playing and a lot more people need to try this game out. Sure enough, here we are with Tales of Graces F being remastered, which is pretty awesome. The Legend of Heroes Trails in the Sky, the first, is also another one I'm very surprised about. It looks really, really good, and actually I'm very excited to try out this game. This will probably be my first full foot into this game, even though I have been playing Trails of Cold Steel every now and then. I really do want to try out, Trails of the Sky. I really do want to try out Trails of the Sky first before I go into that, because I do know the stories kind of connect and all that other stuff. Anyways, let me know what your thoughts on this Nintendo Direct were. Were you very surprised? Because like I said, I was actually thinking this would be like a D or an F Nintendo Direct. There weren't going to be anything out there for me, but there was actually quite a bit that was actually catered to me. So thank you Nintendo for this Direct, and I give this Direct a B. But yeah, let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Did you like it? Did you not like it? What were you hoping was going to be shown? If you're saying anything Nintendo related that's first party, just know that they already mentioned that this was a partner showcase and an indie showcase. So you should not have hope for a first party game in this. And of course, they also said nothing was going to be mentioned of the new Nintendo Switch hardware. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button. I have a goal of 2,000 subscribers by the end of the year, so every bit does count. Do want to also apologize for not being consistent with my videos recently. There's a lot of stuff that's been going on. I do have a lot of things that I am working on though and trying to get. Have some review units of, for example, the new Ioneo products, some new controllers and other stuff, so definitely keep an eye out for that stuff. My name is James. I'll catch you guys next time.